to it then, ladies and gentlemen. This is game number 1 in a best-of-1 series. We're still on the best-of-1s, really cracking through this tournament now. This is the round of 16, though, the first time we've seen Bengal. And then this is the Tri-Civ Cup. Players pick 3 civilizations like we were just talking about, and they can only play those 3, but they have to list them in order 1, 2, 3. And on Bengal, you have to play the one you listed in the 3rd slot. And that clearly is Russia for Soldier, India for India Bot, aka Migo, spawning on the left-hand side of the map in the color teal. We do have India Bot, aka Migo, playing as India, as I am repeating myself, I suppose. No trading posts here, so India, a pretty good civilization. However, there are water buffalo, or yaks, or whatever you want to call them, and those elephants are going to get out onto the map ASAP and start finding them. Soldier on the right-hand side of the map in the color blue, playing as indeed the Russians, has destroyed that elephant there, going to start gathering. It's a bit awkward, that elephant standing on top of his elephant friend.
Yeah, that's a bit unusual. Maybe he's trying to protect it from the villagers, but unfortunately not succeeding, and does indeed give up on that and wander away. But anyway...
Nice shoutcasting.
Yeah, it's been... Anyway, house going to be going down. So not going to be any crazy, like, 10-10 deleting one vill so you can train the last set of villagers or anything from Russia. It's a thing if you're AzAmp. I've seen him do it.
Okay.
But...
doesn't seem good.
I don't think it is, but, you know, A's always seems to win with it, so don't ask me.
A's just wins off the back of surprises, yes. But so far, not so many cows, only the 2 here for India. He went for 90 wood. That explains. I thought he'd have more cows by now, but that's a worthwhile treasure to stop for.
Yeah, 90 wood, definitely can't complain. Going to help out his age up quite a bit. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to be in for sort of a standard start here. I imagine that India is going to be going for that defensive agrifort once they have the resources to do so. And Russia going to be securing the map with that blockhouse. And it's just going to come down to probably the same sort of thing we normally see from Russia. Again, this civ is so boring. Where they place that blockhouse and deny map control and go for some of those late colonial timings.
Sounds like you're lobbying for some changes there, Mitoe.
I didn't say anything. You didn't hear anything.
No, okay. It just sounds like you're priming all of the viewers for some sort of balance change.
Russia's a totally strategic, diverse civilization with lots of options.
Rich
and
in options.
Very fun to watch and cast. I have so much to say about their decision-making and stuff right now.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. To get back to the unbiased casting, 50 wood going to be picked up from Migo as well on the south side of the map. Going to help out that age up even more. 50 coin for Soldier. Not going to be helping out his age up, but will help him train some units and get some upgrades later on. And, yeah, I don't know. What do you think about this matchup?
Well, you've summed it up already, haven't you? You have...
well, yeah, but I mean, who do you think it's good for?
I don't know. Before we did the New World Championship, I would say India. That just seems to be like the strongest civ here. They would just perform better. But we've seen a lot of Russia, although this is on Tar Desert, mind you, actually doing very, very well against Russia. I wonder, though, because Bengal's quite a different map. There are perhaps a lot more food. Mind you, having said that, on Tar Desert, the food is sort of very far away from your base. But I don't know if this map is necessarily all that different. I don't know. I still feel like it's India favored. I've always felt like that. I always feel like Russia had a hard time here.
Personally, I agree, but we have seen Russia being more successful in this matchup recently. So we could be surprised.
Well, the chat's pretty even at the moment. It's 50-50. There's 11,000 points in the fund. We'll check in with the bets when they close.
Yeah.
But, they are open for the time being.
Something I want to point out that's maybe a little bit sort of unusual for Russia, but has been becoming more standard, I think, is he's dropped down that market in transition before going for the blockhouse, actually. I saw Raphael doing this in the New World Championship, so... I think he got some wood treasures there. I'm not sure if you need wood treasures to really do that, as I don't play much Russia myself. But it's definitely makes it a little bit easier to get those upgrades in, where normally you have to wait until you're 700 wood, which can mean they're in quite late. So this can give you some extra resources, and it definitely seems like a pretty good thing to do with some decent treasures. So I like that.
Coming forward, is going to place a blockhouse quite far forward there. Thankfully, it is a blockhouse and not, say, an agrifort. since those are quite hard to place. But yeah, going to be doing that. And has got hunting dogs. Not going to get any of the other upgrades just yet, but I suppose he has got that 400 wood and distributivism. So yes, does have a market, can start getting those upgrades in, as you mentioned. But he is now in the colonial age in the blockhouse. A little bit late, isn't going to be down just yet, but that's okay because he's not like got the food or anything to actually put a bunch of musks in queue.
Yeah, but it's likely just going to be that 5 Cossacks on the way. Although, actually, it doesn't look like, according to this population, that he does have 5 Cossacks on the way. So maybe he's actually going to go for a crate shipment first, so 700 wood or something like that. Go for some sort of later timing. I mean, those early units typically don't do a lot against India with those 2 Sepoy at home and the 2 monks and the Agra Fort and Town Center Fire and the potential for Minutemen as well. So he's going to go for something a little bit different. We're dropping down that second blockhouse with the 700 wood, getting those market upgrades, and going to be just, gearing up for sort of a later timing.
Yeah, 700 wood coming in from ESOLDieR there. Has now got his steel traps as well. And Sakal AoE4 discovered a wounded tiger that has that can be teamed. Riot Coke, thank you for gifting the sub. 17 in total. Coming along nicely. Second blockhouse going down off that wood.
Yep. A few Sepoy being trained by Migo just to make sure that he doesn't struggle against any early Cossack musket pushes that, unfortunately for him, are not actually coming. But those Sepoy aren't going to be totally useless later on either, but they are going to potentially delay some of his market upgrades and stuff like that. And 600 wood was the first card of choice for him, which I really like, because I feel like lately whenever I see people play India, it's always wood trickle or 300 export first, which I feel like is not ideal against Russia. Right. Personally, this is opinion time.
Okay.
I like this 600 wood because it means you can switch all your vills off of wood, gather food and gold, you get your buildings down, you can still train vills, and you can train units comfortably with the 600 wood.
Do you feel like foreign logging and the 300 export is just kind of asking to be rushed?
Maybe a little bit. Personally, I think that's a large part of the reason we've been seeing Russia be more successful in this matchup.
Right,
so
when perhaps it shouldn't be. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that things look pretty good for India at the moment.
And this is what I expect from Migo, being sort of an India main. His account's called India Bot. He's going to know all the matchups quite well that involve India, and clearly, kind of agrees with you going 600 wood, followed by 300 export. Going to get that consulate down very, very easily, and there it is, has that allied with the Ottomans already there. I find it interesting personally that ESOLDieR went with 700 wood to open with, and that Russia often builds the second blockhouse when they really don't sort of have the ecos to sustain production from both buildings. We'll talk about that after this, I hope. But coming in with Strelets and Musketeers, let's see if he can get any work done. Does not quite kill a Vil. Strelets, not all that much damage. That elephant gonna soak a lot. Can he get a stomp? Yeah, he can. I'm gonna force ESOLDieR back here. Let's go over to units lost. Nothing for India Bot. 2 Strelets there and a bunch of HP. Not going to go in any further.
Yeah, two Strelets, not a very costly price to pay, though, for a little bit of idle time and some damage on the house and some information.
And he killed an elephant.
He's got to be feeling okay about the situation, for sure.
2 blockhouse, then. How come? What's your thoughts on this? And a stable.
Yeah, 2 blockhouses, it's kind of the standard thing to do with Russia, just because it makes it... Well, for one thing, you can be a little bit more diverse with your composition, but the main thing is... I should elaborate on that a little bit. It means you can, instead of going for Cossacks, you can add in more infantry if you really need to, which is really helpful against holding timing. So more importantly, it just makes it really difficult for your opponent to get map control back without some sort of long-range siege units like cannons or something. So it's going to just make it really difficult for India to ever push out and get anything meaningful done on the map.
Right, yeah. That forward base is much harder to break, so to speak, as well when you've got that. Strelets, though, are training volleys with the Sepoy, and the Gurkha there as well are going to force them off the market, and that will survive. And that brings up ESOLDIER's losses to 9 Strelets now, and he's yet to kill anything of India Bot.
Yeah, those Gurkha being a longer range than any unit that... Russia can possibly train at any stage in the game. Quite useful at defending, which is one of the reasons why India was, at least in the past, considered to be quite good in this matchup. So that's not too surprising there to see that he's getting some good value out of that. but things still looking okay for Soldier. He's behind a little bit in economy, but his units are pretty cheap.
Zambrak's chasing down these.
So he's not going to be too bad.
These Cossacks though, which is not good. Yeah, he's behind in economy there, but 700 coin now on the floor. Perhaps he can start pumping out units. He's got lots of infrastructure. Cossack ships. What am I saying? Cossack shipments. That's what I'm saying.
Probably going to be another. Well, actually, I'm probably going to be Boyars as the next shipment, I'd imagine, from Russia.
1,200 food.
With him fully invested into Strelets and Cossacks, he's probably going to want to do that. But
that's a lot of food there. I think he's been a little bit housed.
Yeah, actually, looks like he's going to be aging, maybe.
Do you think so?
I think so. No, well, maybe not. He's queued 15 muskets all of a sudden.
He had he was pop cap, so he couldn't queue any more muskets.
Fair enough, but I think an age up would have been
acceptable.
No, probably not at this stage. But if you age earlier, maybe.
Right.
But yeah, 15 muskets going to be the thing he needs for sure with this cav switch coming. But it might be a little bit too late. I think he'll get them in time though. Now that he's retreating behind the blockhouses, so good timing for him on that. 13 Strelets coming in already as well. Going to help bolster that Strelet mass even further. But no Boyars yet, which means he might have to give up one of these blockhouses, as those Strelets aren't particularly strong just yet. But going to be coming forward anyway. This positioning is actually really good for him with the choke points here on either side of the blockhouse, so he can sort of take some decent trades here. Cossack's going to be trying to get around the side onto those Gurkha. Not going to be super successful.
Finding their way in. I feel like India just has this. There's so much more stuff there in terms of population.
Yeah, but they are fighting underneath the blockhouses, right? You can pop a lot of units from 2 blockhouses really fast. He's got 5 Cossacks in queue, 10 Strelets, but yeah, the units are melting pretty quickly now. And actually, yeah, things are looking quite good for India, as well as the 4 Soars coming in behind this to reinforce this push. So, yeah, Soldier in a bit of trouble here. 10 Strelets popping, going to be popping right on top of the Soars, though. Did manage to pull back the one that was being snared, so he could retreat it a little bit more effectively, but unfortunately not going to be enough. And yeah, his whole army is going to get cleaned up here. Just look how hard it is for Russia to do anything to India's units.
Yeah, they just sort of bleed away.
Oh my! Don't look at the units lost. Don't do it.
No, I kind of want. Now that you're saying that, I just have to, right?
It's actually insane.
64 Strelets, 19 Cossacks, 21 Musks, and
he's hardly lost any units himself. Like this is the reason why this matchup has been considered good for India in the past. And yeah, that's going to be the GG from Soldier, and just really solid play from Migo all around, and making really good use of those units.
And Soldier will be eliminated. I kind of thought Soldier might have that, but playing Russia against this India here, Migo knows what he's doing, and managed to put up a very convincing game, very, very convincing victory. I think, though, we have to take a look at the units killed, because that is going to be
126 units killed, only 32 units lost. That's looking pretty solid for sure. And
getting that number of kills versus Russia is easier than, say, other civs. But
that's true. But even still, like, it's just it feels so hard to do something as Russia against the Gurkha Zambrak composition. Just your units are really low range, and yeah, I don't know. It just feels really hard. And the Cossacks melt really fast to the Zambraks, too. So, anyway. So, Migo does advance into the next round.
He actually will be playing his next series where it's a best of 3. It sounds like that's a really long series after all of these best of 1s.
Yeah, and that could potentially be against Sampu Kunku or maybe Risi 1, 2, 3.